Welcome back to my channel, Famous and Fabulous. James Garner finally talks about his friend Tom Selleck. James Garner was born James Scott Garner on April 7, 1928 in Norman, Oklahoma. He was one of the most loved actors in American movies and TV shows. His story from being poor to becoming a movie star shows his talent, hard work, and amazing charm. Garner grew up during the Great Depression, a time when America was very poor. This hard time taught him to work hard and never give up. These lessons helped him a lot in his acting job. After his mum died when he was a kid and having tough times with his dad, Garner learned to take care of himself and be independent. These early tough times helped him become the kind of regular guy that people loved in many of his most famous movie roles. Before becoming famous in Hollywood, Garner was a soldier in the United States Army during the Korean War. This time really changed him. Being a soldier showed he was loyal and worked hard, and he used the good habits, being humble, and bravery he learned in the army in his acting work. After being a soldier, Garner went after his dream of acting. He studied at the University of Oklahoma and started acting in local theater shows. His natural charm, good looks, and easygoing personality soon got the attention of people who picked actors in Hollywood, and he quickly became a screen star. Garner's big break came with the TV show Maverick, 1957 to 1962, where he played Brett Maverick, a charming, sneaky card player in the Old West. The show was a huge hit and showed his ability to be funny, smart, and emotional at the same time, making him different from other leading men back then. Garner's Maverick was witty, clever, and never scared to break the rules, things that people really liked. His natural chemistry with other actors and perfect funny timing helped Maverick become a famous show in TV history, making him famous, getting praise from critics, and giving him a lasting place in pop culture. After his success on TV, Garner successfully moved to movies, showing he was good at many different kinds of roles. In the 1960s and 1970s, he starred in many famous films, including The Great Escape 1963, where he played the brave and smart Virgil Hilts, a role that showed his charm and ability to be the main star of a big movie. He also was in romantic comedies like The Thrill of It All 1963, serious movies like Grand Prix 1966, and action films, showing he could do almost anything that few actors could match. Garner's acting was always praised for being real, warm, and easy to relate to, things that helped audiences connect deeply with his characters. Along with his work success, James Garner was known for his strong beliefs and being honest. He famously fought against Hollywood movie companies when he felt they were treating him badly, winning a big court case against Warner Brothers for breaking their contract, a win that helped other actors get better rights in the business. This courage and determination away from cameras was like the good courage often seen in the characters he played, making his reputation even stronger as both a talented actor and a man who stood up for what's right. Garner's TV success continued into later years with roles like Jim Rockford in the Rockford Files 1974 to 1980, where he played a private detective with a sense of humor, feelings that could get hurt, and smarts. This role made him widely loved, got him multiple Emmy Awards, and made his status as a TV legend even stronger. His ability to bring depth, details, and humanity to every role, whether on TV or in movies, made him one of the most respected and loved actors of his time. Beyond his work in entertainment, Garner was known for his charity work and quiet kindness. He helped many charities and causes, often without wanting people to know about it, showing a humility and kindness that was like the dignity he brought to his work. Co-workers, friends and fans all remember him as a warm, friendly, and truly kind person, things that made his lasting appeal even stronger. James Garner was married only once in his lifetime to Lois Josephine Fleshman Clark, a woman he met in a lucky way at a party in 1956. Their dating was very quick and intense, ending in a wedding just 16 days after they first met on August 17, 1956. Looking back on this super-fast romance, Garner would later remember, "We went to dinner every night for 14 nights. I was just totally crazy about her. I spent 77 summers on our honeymoon, and it almost made me broke." This small story not only shows Garner's young love and quick decision-making, but also shows his down-to-earth personality and sense of humor. He often spoke honestly about marriage in general, once comparing it to being in the army. "Marriage is like the army. Everyone complains, but you'd be surprised at how many people who sign up again." This statement shows his view of long relationships, not as a perfect fairy tale, but as Ariel, lasting partnership where love, patience, and hard work were needed. Lois practiced Judaism, something about her life that added to the cultural and spiritual side of their family, and something that Garner respected and accepted throughout their life together. When James and Lois got married, Lois already had a daughter from a previous marriage who was 9 years old and was recovering from polio, a sickness that left many children with physical problems back then. Garner's role in her life showed not only his caring personality, but also his willingness to become a parent with patience, understanding, and kindness for a child facing hard times. Just over a year and a half after their marriage, Garner and Lois had their own daughter, first named Greta, but lovingly called Gigi. She was born on January 4th, 1958, and her birth marked a new chapter in Garner's life, making his role stronger not only as a husband, but also as a loving father. His relationship with Gigi was like the same warmth, humor, and care that was part of his marriage. He often spoke lovingly of her in interviews, talking about the joys and responsibilities of raising a child. Throughout their life together, Garner and Lois had challenges like any long-term couple. They lived apart 2 times, first for 3 months in 1970 and again in 1979. Even with these tough moments, they always managed to get back together, finally getting back together for good in September 1981. This pattern shows how strong and deep their relationship was. Even when facing difficulties, they kept a commitment to each other that would last for many years. By the time of Garner's death in 2014, they had been married for almost 58 years, proof of the stability, love, and respect for each other that was the foundation of their life together. Their marriage, while not without its problems, stood as a defining and lasting part of James Garner's personal life, giving a peek of the private, loving man behind the famous screen character. James Garner, the legendary actor whose career lasted for decades and whose charm and personality made him one of Hollywood's most beloved people, finally spoke out about his longtime friend and co-worker. Tom Selleck. Garner's words carried the weight of experience, honesty, and decades of dealing with the crazy world of show business. "I've known Tom for a very long time," Garner began, his voice carrying that familiar rough warmth that fans had come to love from movies like The Rockford Files and Murphy's Romance. "He's one of the best actors I've ever had the pleasure of working with, and more importantly, he's a man who always does the right thing." For years, rumors and guessing had gone around about the relationship between these 2 famous actors, both of whom had made their own special paths through Hollywood, and Garner's comments finally seemed to answer those questions. Garner went on to think about their shared experiences in the entertainment business, painting a picture of a friendship made not just in public appearances and press tours, but in the quiet, often hard moments behind the scenes. "We've both been in situations where the pressures of the business could either bring you down or make you stronger," he explained. "I remember more than once Tom showing up, not just ready to work, but ready to make everyone on set feel better. That kind of giving is rare, and it's something I've always looked up to about him." It was clear from Garner's comments that his respect for Selleck was built not only on work admiration, but on personal respect, an understanding of the kind of character it takes to stay calm, funny, and kind over decades in a business known for testing one's patience and beliefs. When asked about the comparisons that fans and the media often made between them, both tall, charming, and having a natural screen presence, Garner laughed, a deep, hearty laugh that seemed to come from a man totally comfortable with his own legacy. "You know, people love to compare, but Tom and I have always done our own thing," he said. "Sure, we're both actors. Sure, we've both had our hits. But the truth is you can't really measure one against the other. We just bring our own styles to what we do, and somehow the audience is like that. And honestly, there's no competition in friendship. It's just about respecting each other." In these words, one could hear the humility and kindness that had been part of Garner's career, a refusal to let rivalry or ego control his view of co-workers, even those who shared similar paths in Hollywood. Garner also spoke honestly about how Selleck's work attitude had influenced him personally and how the 2 men had in many ways helped each other deal with the highs and lows of fame. "Tom taught me a lot about patience," Garner admitted. "I've always been a bit stubborn, and he has this calmness about him that spreads to others. On sets, when tensions get high or when a scene just isn't working, Tom's presence has a way of making things steady. It's not just about acting. It's about being human under pressure, and I've learned a lot from that." These thoughts showed a side of Garner that many fans didn't see on screen. a thoughtful, thinking man who valued character and kindness above trophies and awards. Someone who had seen the best and worst of Hollywood and chose to focus on the human connections that last beyond fame. Finally, Garner talked about what he thought was the most important part of his relationship with Selleck: trust. You can't talk about someone like Tom without mentioning trust. He said, "We've been through a lot together in this business, and there's a trust there that doesn't come easily. I know he's someone I can count on, and I hope he feels the same about me." That's the foundation of any friendship, whether you're actors or not. Garner's words were both a tribute and comfort, showing fans that even with the years, the distance, and the changing times of Hollywood, some bonds stay strong. In the end, James Garner's thoughts on Tom Selleck were more than just talk about a co-worker. They were a heartfelt recognition of a lifelong friendship, one built on respecting each other, shared experiences, and a deep appreciation for the person behind the fame. "We've both had our journeys," Garner ended, "and I'm proud to call him my friend. That above all else is what matters." In speaking so openly, Garner gave fans a rare look into the real connections that shape an actor's life, reminding everyone that behind the cameras and the spotlight, the human element, the loyalty, the respect, the friendship is what truly lasts. James Garner, the beloved actor whose charm and wit were on both the big and small screens, faced many tough health challenges that were like the strength he often showed in his roles. During the 1970s, while filming the famous detective series, The Rockford Files, Garner's knees began to hurt him. What started as sometimes aching soon became constant pain, requiring 6 or 7 knee operations during that time. A terrible ordeal that he went through while keeping his well-known humor and love for his work. Even decades later, the damage from those years of physical strain led him to get knee replacement surgery for both knees in 2000. Proof of his lasting never-give-up attitude and refusal to let pain control his life. Garner's health struggles went far beyond his knees. On April 22, 1988, he faced one of the most serious challenges of his life: quintuple bypass heart surgery. The operation, scary for anyone, was met with his typical determination. While his recovery was surprisingly fast, doctors strongly told him to stop smoking, a habit he'd kept for most of his life. Amazingly, Garner continued to smoke for almost 2 more decades, finally quitting in 2005, a choice that showed both his human imperfections and his final commitment to living longer. Thinking about her father's battle with smoking, daughter Gigi Garner remembered, "My dad had smoked since he was 12 years old," showing the lifelong nature of some of his struggles. In 2008, Garner faced yet another terrible health crisis. On May 11th, following a bad stroke just 2 days earlier, he had surgery that medical professionals said was a success. Even with how bad the stroke was, his chances of getting better were reported as very good, a hopeful sign for fans and family alike. Garner's strength in the face of repeated medical challenges was like the courage and determination he so often showed on screen, earning him admiration both as an actor and as a human being dealing with life's harsh realities. Sadly, on July 19, 2014, the curtain fell on James Garner's amazing life. Police and rescue people were called to his Brentwood, Los Angeles home, where they found that the legendary actor had passed away at the age of 86. The cause was a heart attack caused by coronary artery disease, an end result of years of health struggles, including the lasting effects of his 2008 stroke. Though his physical health had gotten worse in his later years, his legacy, marked by charm, professionalism, and a never-ending commitment to his work, remains bright and lasting, inspiring generations of actors and fans alike.